Hello everyone, myself is Mita Jamuja and today my presentation topic is Transcendentalism versus Puritanism in American literature. These are my personal information. Hypothesis and research question. Hypothesis. Puritanism and Transcendentalism depicted opposing views on human nature, morality and spirituality. Both played a crucial role in shaping American literature by influencing themes of individualism, divine purpose and moral responsibility. Research question. How did the contrasting philosophies of Puritanism and Transcendentalism shape American literature and cultural identity? Table of contents. Let's begin with introduction. Definition and importance. Puritanism emerged in the 16th and 17th centuries as a religious reform movement seeking to purify the Church of England. It emphasized strict moral conduct, predestination, and collective religious life. Transcendentalism, developed in 19th century as a philosophical and literary movement that emphasized individualism, intuition, and the divine presence in nature. Both movements shape American literature and culture, influence how American perceives spirituality, nature, and society. Understanding the difference between Puritanism and Transcendentalism provides insight in the evolution of American thoughts from strict religious conformity to self-relevant individualism. Origins of Puritanism. Puritanism began in England in the late 15th as a religious movement. Puritans wanted to change the Church of England because they thought it had too many rules and was not pure enough. In way the early 16th, many Puritans left England and moved to North America. They wanted to build a perfect Christian community called a city upon hill, where people follow strict religious rules and live good moral and lives. Puritanism core elements and influence. Puritans believed that people were born sinful and need to change to have a good relationship with God and others. They followed strict religious rules to stay pure. Even though Puritanism became less popular over time, its ideas still shape American culture. Many Puritans value like working hard and living a moral life remain important in society. Puritanism and ideas listed for many years and even influenced American literature. Writers like Henry James and Puritans believed in their stories but gave them a new meanings. Puritanism and Transcendentalism, and it was very different views on people. Puritans thought humans were naturally flawed, but Transcendentalism believed people were naturally good and could improve themselves. Characteristic of Puritanism. First, emphasize on fallen nature. Puritans believe in man's inherent sinfulness and the necessity of regeneration. Theocratic influence. Puritan ideas had lasting impact on American culture, with religious elements persisting even after the decline of Puritan theocracy. Law and religion intertwined. Puritan society closely linked religion and law with strict code and punishments. View of the arts. Puritans were often seen as inhospitable to arts, viewing artistic expression with suspicion. Love and liberty. Puritans value liberty and were willing of fight for it, as seen in their resistance to oppressions. The emergence of Transcendentalism, historical contents. It emerged partly from Puritan beliefs but react against utilitarianism, shifting the focus from doctrines of social issues like abortion and feminism. More recently, there's a renewal of appreciation for its spiritual aspect and connection to Eastern religion and American pragmatism. Philosophical views. Transcendentalist said with Puritans and idea the universe is ideal and the nature symbolizes spirit. However, the emphasis in individuals' capacity to interpret symbols, believing in the poets or the everyman with poetic potential. This contrast with Puritanism's focus on saints as interpreters. Characteristic of transcendentalism. First, emphasis on intuition over empiricism. Transcendentalist drawing on the ideas of correspondence believe that perspective the correspondence between things lead to transcendence and communication with spirit. The idea of correspondence involves seeing things in the nature world terms their spiritual essence. This act of perceiving correspondences is seen as a way of transcending the limitation of human experience and participating in higher order of being and meaning. Second, idealism. Trans- Transcendentalists rejected materialism, instead believing that spiritual and intellectual pursuits were the highest form of human existence. The belief in perfectibility of society led many transcendentalists to suppose abolition and social reformist movement. Difference between transcendentalism and Puritanism. Puritanism was all about strict religious discipline and the belief that humans are naturally sinful and need God's grace to be saved. They show God as a powerful, distant authority who controls everything. Nature to them was a part of fallen world, something not be trusted. They also believed that society should function as a tightly knit religious community where everyone followed the same moral rules. Transcendentalism, on the other hand, was almost the opposite. It emerged much later in 19th century and believed that humans were naturally good and capable for growth. Instead of seeing God as a distant, they believed he was present in everything, especially nature. To them, nature was not sinful, it was divine and full of meaning. Transcendentalists valued individualism and self reliance, encouraging people to think for themselves and seek truth through personal experience. Conclusion. Puritanism and Transcendentalism represent two distinct yet influential movements in American literary and cultural history. While Puritanism emphasized religious discipline, sin, and communal morality, Transcendentalism promoted individual intuition, nature, and self-reliance. Their legacies continue to impact American thoughts with Puritan ideas, persisting in a moral and ethical frameworks and transcendentalist principle inspiring self-expression, social reform, and environmental consciousness. Understanding this movement provide deeper insight into the evolution of American literature and philosophy. There are my references and thank you.